Hi everybody, welcome to Mike and James Classic Games. I of course am Mike. So I wanted to bring you part 3 of the tutorial about VCS Game Maker. If you have not watched part 1 and 2 yet, please go back and do it, but I'm assuming you have or you wouldn't be here. But go back in the channel and find part 1 and 2 first or you'll be lost in this. Before we get started, I wanted to go over a couple of things real quick. First of all, exciting news. There has been an update just yesterday to the software. It has added a couple of very cool new things having to do with background and individual pixels on the background and being able to manipulate them. I could have used that earlier, but I have not played around with it too much yet, so we'll be covering it in a later video. But that version, which is 0.33, is out on the website now to be run on the website directly, and I'm assuming and hoping that a executable version is imminent. So pretty cool stuff. I'm still running here on the slightly older version just because that's what I was building in, and I haven't played with the new stuff quite yet. As soon as I do, we'll bring you some stuff on that. Number 2, I wanted to let you know that our Patreon is now officially up. Patreon.com/MNJCG. Link down in the description. And super excited about that. There's only one tier. It's $1, and it's just as a huge thank you. And it'll get everything that I've got on there. So if you want to support me and give a little coin to the channel, hey, I appreciate it. Number 3, James and I are going to Utah Retro Game Con this coming weekend. It's Friday and Saturday. We're actually going on Saturday. It's going to be a good time, and if any of you are here in Utah and want to plan on going, let me know. Let's meet up. Let's say hi. There's a couple of very cool people there that I'm looking forward to saying hello to, including the almighty Al Lowe, who created such wonderful things as Leisure Suit Larry and a lot of the other Sierra fantastic titles. But so let's dive into this. So as we talked about in the last episode, I have a crazy idea for how to put in at least a rudimentary life system. Now, this is not totally designed to do that yet. This is working off a very basic kernel that doesn't quite support it yet. But this is part of the fun of this, is being creative and using the tools you've got to make things happen. So that's what this is about, and we've come up with a way to do that using the rudimentary tools. And there's a few things we're going to do first. First of all, we're going to go into the backgrounds over here. You see I've made a change to the main background. We put the things in, I'm calling it 3 lives. You'll see why in a moment. And I've got 3 little things up here. These, for the moment, will be our life counters, and I'll go into some more of that in a bit. Now, title screen, I have gone ahead and made a title screen, so we're going to go ahead and just pop that in there real quick. And then we're going to do a couple more of these. We're going to call this 2 lives. Come in here. We're going to erase one of these. I'm going to do 1 lives or life, but I'm just keeping the naming similar. Pull the same one in. 1 life, and then we will do one more called Last Life. L-A-S-T, Last Life. Nice, Mike, good job. Last Life. Okay, let's go ahead and take all 3 of these out. Now the goal is, and here was my crazy idea, can we use backgrounds to act as a kind of a rudimentary life counter. While I'm explaining my idea, what I need to do is I am going to save the project, because one of the small things that I found with this is when you add backgrounds and stuff like that, they don't show up immediately in the system in the drop downs, and you kind of have to restart. Hey, it's me. Let's come back here real quick. All right, so now they should be in there. And we've got 3 lives. So what we're going to do is, the first thing we got to do is we're going to set up a variable. A variable, as you guys should know, it's a word or a string of letters that stores a number or some kind of information. There's different kinds of strings. There's numerical strings, there's text strings, but a variable stores that. And we want to make a variable to store a number. So we're going to create a variable, call it PLR0LIVES, pluralives. You can name it something better than that. I'm just doing this for quickiness. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set player lives as soon as gameplay starts to 4. Now not 3, and I'll explain why later. But we're going to set this to 4. It has to do with maths. Yay, maths. So this is step 1. We want to have this counting our lives. Now, we want to have the actions that reduce the life number attached to the subroutine that actually causes that. Now, we know that what's going to cause being shot. So when the player 1 missile collides with player 0, which we have put in down here. So there's a couple of things we need to do here, and it's stuff that I have found kind of by accident. What we're going to do is we're actually going to take right here. Now, you guys might remember this from a previous one when we were doing the scoring when player 0 shot player 1, or when Gary shot Mike, that it would go through him and it would, cause the score to go up by 9. If we don't tell the missile to stop when it hits player 0, it's going to reduce the life count by 9 rather than by 1. So we're just going to steal this, because this is exactly what we need. Taking the missile and putting it off in nowhere and telling it not to move. So we're going to duplicate. We're going to put it here. Duplicate. Put it here. We're going to duplicate and put it here. Okay, so that's step 1. Now, when Gary shoots, or when Mike drops a missile on Gary, it goes away right away. So it's not acting as a collision 8 or 9 times. It's only acting as a collision once. So the next thing we want to have happen is we are going to change the variable. So we are going to, rather than just doing, so here's the thing, change player 0 lives by -1 is a little buggy right now. Normally that would work, but it's a little buggy. So what we're going to do is we are going to add this as well. I'm going to check my notes real quick, make sure I'm not borking this up. Nope, you know what? We'll use this in a second. We are going to do it this way. We're going to set player lives to, and we're going to have to use this logic instead of the math one. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Because there's 2 different versions of this, and if you're going to do a set, you need to pull this from math, not from logic. Okay, set player lives to player lives minus 1. So it's going to, it's 4, so now player lives, when this hits, is going to go the same thing, but -1. So it's going to set it to itself -1, if that makes sense. It should. It's easy enough. Simple math. Now we're going to build some nice little things here. And what these are going to do is these are going to measure this. Now I'm going to pause, look at my notes again real quick. These are super simple. So if, now we can use the logic. If player 0 lives equals 3, then we're going to change the background. So we have 4 different backgrounds in there, one with 3, one with 2, one with 1, one with none. So we're going to change the background from 3 lives to 2 lives. Now this is driving me nuts because I did this before and it wasn't working. And then I finally figured out it's because the missile 1 was going all the way through Gary and causing 9 points. So all of a sudden player lives was at -4 or something, or -8 or -9. So it wasn't working. So now that we put this destroy the missile here, now it's only going to count it once and it's going to count it down. So now when it goes from 4, what we set to the top, down to 3, the background is going to set to 2 lives left. Now we're going to duplicate this. When it hits 2, 1 life left. Duplicate. When it hits 1, we are going to have last life. Now, what happens after last life? The game ends. Now, there's a whole game over end screen system that I'm still trying to work the bugs out of. I'm sure it's going to be easy enough, but right now what's going to happen is it's just going to go back to the title screen. But we want the game to end. So the best way to do that is we're going to duplicate this one more time. If player lives equals 0, and we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to put an event in here. Change the state of the game to gamma over. Oh, delete, not disable. To gamma over, game over. Sorry, Game Grumps joke. Now, with just these few additions, in theory, what's going to happen now is when Gary gets hit by Mike, the player count's going to go down, and the little things up at the top of the screen are going to reduce by 1 until there's none left and you get hit again, and then it goes back to the title screen. That's the theory. Now, one thing I have learned that I'm going to tweak here just for the time being is that it takes forever to get hit by a missile for right now. So part of what we're going to do later with the game is just tweak it more and more. So right now we're going to hit the player 1 fire to 6. And you'll notice, if you watch this long enough, there is, even though this is a random number it's pulling from, and anytime the number drops below 6, it'll fire. The problem is that computers, as some of you know, have a hard time actually really generating a random number. So it doesn't always look all that random. But for today's purposes, it's going to be just fine. So I'm going to go up and save my work real quick. Hope to God that this works. Okay. Back to actions, here we go. Now let's take a look over on the screen here. I'm going to turn it off and on one more time. Let's see what happens. Oh, you know what? There's one thing we want to change. I forgot about this. See how he's a little high? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to set, that's player 1. We're actually going to set him to, I'll go back there. 25. That should put him just inside the bracket. So let's try this. Yeah, there we go. That's basically perfect, or at least close enough for government work. Oh, look at that. Went down by 1. He's now officially hit me more than I've hit him. Okay, let's test this. Let's wait for him to drop one on me. Yep, down to 1. You can see it up in the upper left-hand corner. Now, the next hit should go down to last life. Oh, he missed me, barely. Come on, you can do better than this. Why am I yelling at him? That's me up top. All right, drop him. On me! Oh, down to no lives left. I'm on my final life. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Ah! Most inconvenient shot. And we're back to the title screen. It worked! And now in theory it should just be able to start again. Yep. So this is huge. This is a big step. So what I want to do in the next video, whenever that comes out, we're going to play around a little bit with a game over screen, and we're going to see if we can convert this over to the new background individual pixel manipulation. That will save us actually some size. It'll save us a little bit of a heartache, but this is good progress. So hope you've been following along with me on this. The practice files for this will be available on my Patreon, or it's 99 cents, or you can just go through, follow along with me, and make it yourself. So thank you for joining me on this. It's a little bit shorter than normal, but I really appreciate it. And thanks to Geraldo for making such an awesome tool. This is great. This is so much fun. I'm actually going to go load this onto one of my little handheld Ataris tonight, play around with it some more. But thank you guys for joining me. Please subscribe. You guys have been fantastic about this. It has been only 2 weeks since I hit 250 subscribers on my channel. In the last 2 weeks, I've gained another 30. I really love to hit 300 by the end of the week, because I have a little deal with myself that I can go buy myself a gelato if I hit 300. So get me there. I want some ice cream. But thank you guys for joining me, and we will see you again fairly soon. Thanks.